I was not a good waitress. And I think it's because the tactics that I like don't actually make you like good money. Okay, because I had this like wrong perception. Like I would go to eat at a restaurant and the server would be like super friendly, give me details about their life. They'd sit in my booth, you know, and I don't like that. I'm like, I just want to order my food. I don't know, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And so when I started serving tables, I was like, I'm not going to be like that. I'm just going to be very professional. Hi, hello. My name is Runie. What do you want to drink? Like polite, but professional. You guys want to know? You want to know why people do this stuff? Because it was the servers who did that actually made money. They made way more money than me. They made way more money than me. I think it's because, yes, there are people who don't like it, but the people who don't like it, they're just gonna be slightly uncomfortable and they're probably still gonna tip you, right? At least a little, like at least a decent amount. But the people who do like it are going to tip you a ton. Whereas I either got a very modest tip or like no tip at all because people are just like wouldn't tip sometimes. I'll pay you to leave me alone. It does seem that way, right? It seems like that would be overstepping, like it would be getting on people's nerves, and it surely does. But it's just that when it hits with the right people, it just makes good money. And that's why they were doing it. But there's also like a certain amount of like shamelessness that I feel like you have to be able to pull that style of serving tables off that I just like didn't have. I also wasn't good because I just hated the job, so I could not be bothered. My bosses, my poor bosses, they could not stand me. I remember there was this one time that was like, we were serving this like one type of thing and we weren't supposed to let them get it takeout. It was like an endless option, so they could order it in the store and eat it, but I couldn't give them like a takeout box with it because it was endless or whatever. Like they have to eat it actually there, and that was the rule. But everybody always wants a box to go. They're like, okay, I ate all I can here and now I want one more box to go. And you know what I did? I just gave them the box to go. Why wouldn't I? They're the ones paying me. My managers aren't paying me. They're not paying me. These people are paying me. So I would just give it to them anyways. And I remember there was one time I was doing it and the manager was like, Runie, you know you're not supposed to do that, right? And I was like, yes. And she was just looking at me like, but also I was one of the only people who like consistently showed up on time, so they weren't gonna fire me. You know what I mean? They didn't fire me. So I feel like it was not the vibe for me. I didn't do it for very long because I got a better job. I did it right out of college because I don't know if you guys have noticed this about me, but like I panic really easily. Like I just go crazy sometimes, like really easily. So when I got out of college, I didn't immediately get a job. As in, let's see, I graduated in May and I got my first like job in my career field in September. So it took me from May to September, which is not that long of a time. I would say this is a relatively reasonable amount of time to look for a job, especially right out of college. Yeah, I would say that's normal. But I went insane. Like a month went by and I didn't have a job yet and I lost my mind. Like I actually completely panicked. I thought it was all over. I was like, I spent 4 years of my life for nothing. I'm never gonna get hired anywhere. I was like, I guess I just have to be a waitress. There's no other option for me. I guess I just have to wait tables. So I got a job waiting tables. I thought it was so over. When I moved to my current job, it took me quite a while to find a job, and it was very, very frustrating. I mean, when I say it took a while, it took years because I was applying for other jobs while working at my previous one. And I just thought that it wouldn't take me that long to find a job because I had like, at that point I had a solid degree, I had 3 years of experience, I had glowing reviews from my coworkers, I was good at what I did, I felt very confident, and I couldn't even get an interview. I literally couldn't even get interviews. Like, I could not get interviews. But I did eventually get something. But you know what? I got something through networking because one of my old coworkers moved to this place. And then they were like, oh, we have an opening I think you'd be perfect for. I'm going to send you the application. And I think a big reason that I even got that job was because I already knew someone working there who was like, no, you should hire her. You gotta network, babes. I know you hate it. I know it's awful. I don't like it either. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But I mean, it goes to show like being easy to work with works though. You know, because the main reason I got the job that I have now, which I love, and it's a fantastic, wonderful job, and I'm super, super happy. I mean, I've told you guys before, I genuinely love my job. And a big reason that I got it was because I was easy to work with. And so the person who moved was like, oh yeah, you should hire this person in particular because I like working with her. You know, so it goes to show that you should be nice to your coworkers. Oh, getting new supervision is always really nerve-wracking. The place I worked before, where I work now, the reason I was trying to apply for other jobs, I hated it so much. When I first started there, it was awesome. And then we got new management and it became not awesome. It was the opposite of awesome. It was terrible. And it was so terrible. It was like upper management. And it was so terrible that my supervisor literally just quit. And then the supervisor after her also just quit. Like, they just demoted themselves. They could not handle it anymore, which ended up with this really fun situation where they didn't have anybody who had been there for a long time who was willing to take the job, because they were like, literally, it sucks so bad that it's not even worth the amount that you would pay us. So they ended up hiring someone who was like my age and had less experience than most of us. To supervise a section. So like, it's like somebody with like 2 years of experience supervising literally people who've been there for like 20 plus 15, 17, 20 plus years. It was so awkward. And then I quit. Ha 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 ha. Fine then. Goodbye. Goodbye then. Goodbye forever.